Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with best hair, and it's time to look at Curse of Chucky. YouTube won't let me curse in the first 30 seconds. Well, fiddle-dee-dee. This one came out in 2013, and after the absolutely insane direction Seed of Chucky went, as supernatural horror sequels tend to go, there were a few ways that yet another sequel could go. One is to go even more extreme, go more zany, more wacky, more comedy, and completely lose sight of any and all horror in the series going forward. The other is to try to dial it back a bit and bring it a little bit closer to its roots and give us some pure dread once again. And then, of course, there is the massive overcorrection. Curse of Chucky is such a huge swing back to pure horror. It's even darker in tone than the original, and the story's overcomplication was so streamlined. It's a very, very basic plotline, and I hope you like pretending we don't know Chucky is alive for half the movie, because that's what we get. It's honestly so different from Seed of Chucky, it almost feels like a complete goddamn reboot. Hey, I can curse! So, let's take a look at Curse of Chucky and see if it does the series justice, or if we'll be begging to have instead watched Shitface Goes to College. The movie opens with a delivery van with a package for Sarah, played by Chantal Quesnel. But she's busy painting sunflowers, so she calls for her daughter, Nica, played by Fiona Dourif. Yes, that Dourif, the daughter of Brad Dourif. I knew the later Chucky movies were about family, but I didn't know I went this far. But Nica says she's busy.
Nica, please.
I'm not the only one who heard that, right? Her mother's insistence is a bit more questionable, considering the fact that Nica is a paraplegic, but that doesn't seem to bother the delivery driver, played by Jordan Gavaris. She's young, hot, and can't run away.
So is your mom home now, or what?
Yeah.
Too bad.
She's 32 years old. You don't gotta sneak around like teenagers just because it's a horror movie. So nothing comes of that. Both because the guy is never seen for the rest of the movie, and also because of what Nica's mother thinks.
I think that guy was hitting on me. Maybe I should go ask him out.
Nica. He was just being nice.
I mean, look at you, Nica. You're crippled. You're very crippled, and no one would ever love a cripple. And no, this is never proven wrong. This is the message of the scene. How unlovable a set of wheels makes you isn't the point anyway, but rather, what is this package and who sent it?
Who's it from?
It doesn't say.
Jeez, this kind of thing happens so much in horror movies. I had to stop and look up to see if this was even something that was possible to occur in reality. Evidently, yes, you can legally send packages without return addresses. As long as if you're okay with the fact that if they can't actually deliver it, they'll just auction it off or throw it away. Which would be quite a problem for our little bundle of terror.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
A mysterious doll of mystery, the kind of which these two are completely unaware of. Which makes absolutely no sense after Seed of Chucky established the entire movie plotline, but I had to stop and make sure I wasn't accidentally watching the reboot at this point, and no, this is a sequel, and it is a sequel to the events of the previous movies. It's not rebooting anything, and once you get towards further in, it makes even less sense. Nica figures they can give the doll to Alice, but Sarah just throws the doll in the trash. And just puts it away, out of sight, out of frame. No lock, no weight, no wood chipper. Not a great plan. But that night, it's dark and eerie, and the music swells. Gotta be honest, the first time I saw this scene, I thought it was so over the top it was some kind of fake out. Nope, she's fucking dead. Meaning Nica is all alone and completely unsuspecting of anything. The perfect opportunity for any kind of psycho killer who happens to be close to her with motivations against her life and literally no one else in the movie. Oh well, moving on. The police arrive. They figure, probably suicide because, she was suicidal. Probably. Yeah, suicide. For you youngins out there, that's what we used to call unaliving back before algorithmic manipulation made everyone start to self-pussify. Anyway, we're barely 8 minutes into this thing. Better introduce a few characters before we run out. Nica's older sister, Barbara, played by Danielle Bisutti, and Father Frank, played by A. Martinez. Just a random priest who happens to be in the movie because of connections.
You remember Father Frank? Yes. Hello, Father.
See? They know each other. Probably. So get ready for some awkward religious talk out of left field, because Nica and Mommy were atheists. But Barbara says they need to pray, because suicide is kind of frowned upon. But Nica says that doesn't take their mother's mental condition into account.
You can't judge her.
No one is judging her. In fact, the church's official response to a situation like this is not to judge, but to pity.
Oh, yeah, but ain't pity a form of judgment there, Daddy-O?
It's my fault. I should have seen it coming.
Well, I agree, but for different reasons. Anyway, this conversation is well past uncomfortable. How about some more characters? Barbara's husband, Ian, played by Brennan Elliott, the nanny, Jill, played by Metalhead McConnell, and of course, little Alice, played by Summer H. Owl.
Did Grandma go to heaven?
The fuck I look like to you, kid? St. Peter? Based on her drinking habits, I wouldn't put money on it. Nica's just like, of course she did. But never mind that. How about a new doll? Oh, it's disappeared. And Chucky just hopped down from the chair and decided to say fuck it and leave right past all these guys without a single one of them noticing anything. It's amazing what you can get away with when you're just out of frame. But what's this? Alice needs to pee! Thus, Barbara sends Jill to show her the way to the bathroom in the house Jill has never set foot in before, because Barbara needs to talk with Nica. Later, first we gotta watch Alice go to the bathroom.
You really don't want to see it to your business.
I agree!
$400 a week? Man.
And yet here we are. Thank God things start getting spooky and the movie starts hinting that Alice's life may be in mortal danger. I would much rather watch that. Well, she's certainly gone potty by now. Jill won't let that stop her, though, for you see, she just so happens to be a master of unlocking, picking the lock in record time!
He scared me half to death.
Fortunately, Chucky can rely on the very poor grasp of reality of your average 8-year-old to get past that problem. Also, you would think that Jill's little lock-picking endeavors there was kind of setting something up that would be useful for a later scene. No, it actually never comes up again for the whole movie. So I guess it really was just an awkward Resident Evil reference. But what's this? Barbara wants Nica to go to an old crippled folks' home. She claims it's for her own good. She's just looking out for her baby sister. And this old house has so many bad memories. But Nica can tell it's because Barbara just wants to sell the house for ass tons of money.
This is my home. Nica, I know this is hard. But do you really think you can manage here? All by yourself?
Meantime, Father Frank's just sitting there like, the fuck did I get involved in this time? No reason to dig any deeper, because looky here, they found the doll. Nica thinks that Grandma Sarah would have wanted Alice to have the doll, much to Barbara's chagrin.
It's a doll. What's the worst that can happen, huh?
I like to be hugged.
So nobody, not a single fucking one of yous in this world, in the Chucky universe, has any idea who this good guy doll who introduces himself as Chucky just so happens to be. Not one. Other question, did every single one of you happen to have recent head injuries? But then, Chucky talks to Alice.
Oh, Chucky wants to know what's for dinner.
Either that or the CDI king of Hyrule.
I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy, I'm so hungry, I could eat an octorok.
Barbara offers to cook for the invalid, but Nick is like, I don't need your help, I can do it myself! Along with Alice, and Alice agrees, along with Chucky. So they head into the kitchen and make the most horrifying meal of all. Vegetarian chili. I feel like this should count as gross out horror. I must avert my Texan eyes. But when they leave to set the table, Chucky gets to work adding his own special secret ingredients. Honestly, it's not like he can make it any worse. But Nica is coming back, so Chucky only has time to poison one bowl of chili. And stand out really obviously with that rat poison exposed under the sink, but you gotta have at least 3 brain cells to put those clues together. But we, the audience, know the chili is poisoned. Zoom in. Is that a nifty artistic shot for you? Huh? You scared yet? Now they set the plates, of which we know one is poisoned. Such angles, such contrast, such artistry. So goddamn much runtime spent on this fucking chili. So after another 30 seconds of intentionally disorienting overhead spinning, for spookiness, they sit down to eat. But wait! A proper horror meal requires suspense and at least a few references to God, so they must say grace. Then comes the time for the wine, which Father Frank turns down. He's got water. If Jesus wants it to be wine, he'll take care of it himself.
I am starving.
Wait! Your daddy would like to make a toast.
You can still do that while your kid eats. Come on, the poison's gonna be cold by the time anyone gets to it.
To the chef.
Maybe wait until after you've tasted it for that praise. Who knows, you might be surprised.
Is there meat in this? No, not at all.
It's vegetarian.
Huh.
Again, you're supposed to drop that information on them after they've tasted it. Otherwise, it might skew their perspective. And at the very least, I wouldn't touch it. Anyway, they finally start to eat the fucking chili.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
This is amazing.
Oh, sweet hell, does this scene just exist to establish which characters I should hate and want to die?
And it's so hearty.
It's the oregano.
This is just the way my mama used to make it.
Well, Frankie boy, I'm afraid I got some bad news about your mother.
That doll, it looks really familiar somehow.
Oh, Father, come on. Good guy dolls were all the rage back in the 80s. My brother even had one.
Oh yeah, up until the company got shut down because of that very high-profile case where one came to life, started talking, walking around, and killing a bunch of people. Oh god, what was his name? They made a movie about him. Oh yeah, Chucky! So we establish, once again, these guys are complete fucking idiots. Now let's get back to artistic horror shots. Nothing quite like extreme close-ups of people's mouths as they eat chili to really give you a feeling of unease.
Alice, honey, is something wrong?
It tastes funny. Maybe we put too much oregano in.
Alice, sweetheart, it's not that bad. Eat it.
Funny thing, this reminds me of a time when I was younger, when my mother went to a grocery store, Super Fresh in Pennsylvania. She bought a frozen pizza there, brought it home, cooked it, and that was dinner. And I was eating it, and tasted nasty, and I was like, hey, this tastes nasty. And my mother was there like, just shut up and eat the damn pizza. So, as a dutiful child, I continued eating that nasty-ass pizza up until I picked the thing up, looked at the bottom, and was like, hey, Ma! The hell is this? And she was like, oh my god, that is so much mold. We're throwing all of that away. So, also, about the scene, that's a red herring. There's no poison in the kid's chili. I just wanted to bring up this story because I just feel like if I was in that situation and the kid's complaining about the taste of the food, I'd check the fucking food. So which one of them did get the poison chili? Father Frank. But this doesn't result in your standard rat poison death or even reaction. No. Frank just decides to say fuck it and leave. Thanks for dinner, but I gotta skedaddle, and off he goes.
I'll see you all in the morning at the cemetery.
He ain't lying. After 2 minutes of prep and 5 minutes of eating, I am happy to report that the chili scene is finally over. Oh, as well as Father Frank's life. Funny thing, rat poison doesn't result in vomiting or massive internal bleeding. Nope, it results in drunk driving, which kills the man! Scratch that, it's the decapitation that killed the man. But driving under the influence of rat poison didn't help. Not that anyone hears about this little mishap, no, it's time to watch home movies of the other dead character. Or characters, when you think about it.
What happened to your dad? He drowned that year. A couple weeks before Nica was born.
Ah, great, the body count started before the opening credits even rolled. That's gonna throw my horror timeline way off. More importantly, who the fuck is that long-haired freak in the Hawaiian shirt?
Some neighbor back in Chicago, I guess. What a weirdo.
Just once, I would like to be judged not by my looks, but by my actions. I mean, yes, I'm still an asshole, but don't hate me because I'm beautiful. But what's this? Chucky is missing! The adults figure Alice is just playing a game, so Barbara puts Jill on Chucky location duties. Nica, however, figures, hey, maybe they can use the invisible return information to find something out about the doll. But oh no, the phone line is dead. Even worse, the phone line is dead. No, Bob, the real issue is that finding Chucky is made far more difficult when this house seems to be chock full of creepy dolls for no apparent reason.
There he goes.
I am not in the mood for this.
This doesn't seem strange to you at all? I mean, hear me out. Children are prone to more magical thinking when they're like 4 or 5. But Alice, you're 8. This doesn't strike you as odd at all? So after a short stop off in the bathroom to confirm that Jill is terrified of windows, we do spend a little time establishing something kind of important. A knife appears to be missing.
Need a hand?
Little warning next time, lady.
I have looked over every inch of this house and I can't find him anywhere.
Little warning next time, lady. I guess this is what you call being spontaneous. Barbara's boating the nanny, but that still leaves the question of exactly where Chucky is. Why, right next to Ian. Which, of course, begs the question of exactly how he got there.
You found him.
I think she wanted you to find him.
A question that can be immediately hand-waved away. It's just a little tyke playing. I wonder if they're going to keep that up once the body count starts rising. They're like, oh, Alice, you little scamp. So they don't worry too much about it, even when the doll starts spouting out ominous messages. They just figure, those crazy 80s, and hand it to Nica to bring it to Alice. But wouldn't you know it, this whole house is falling the fuck apart, and the elevator gets stuck halfway. No worries, that's why they have the handy-dandy emergency bell.
Coming!
See, with her, it's always something.
Oh, I can't walk. Oh, our mother's dead. Oh, I'm trapped and will starve to death without immediate assistance. I mean, it's always something with her. When Barbara does get around to helping Nica, Chucky terrifies her, and she ignores that seconds later. The more important thing is that now Alice wants a bedtime story, but Barbara's like, nope, don't you understand how weak and incapable this wheelie bitch is? So yeah, we went from she asks for help too much to she doesn't ask for help enough in record time there.
You mean assistance, Nica? I am worried about your heart, okay?
Because as you know, Bob, you have a serious heart condition. Not serious enough to bring it up any sooner than 40 minutes into this movie, but very serious nonetheless. Nica says Barbara is completely out of line. The doctor says she's fine. She's fine. Nothing is going on that she can't handle. Also, by the way, Nica, you're bleeding like a stuck pig.
You must have cut yourself making dinner.
I didn't.
Well, you always put a little bit of yourself into everything you make.
Doesn't it hurt?
No, don't worry, sweetie. She can't feel a thing.
It hurts here. Yes, Nica, we've covered your heart condition. You know, if I could move my legs, I'd kick your ass. Anyway, bedtime. If I should die before I wake. All right, that's all the important stuff. But when Alice starts telling Barbara that Chucky says there is no God, life's a bitch and then you die, Barbara is mildly concerned.
Mommy, am I going to die?
What? Alice! Of course you're gonna die. Just can't say when, that's a spoiler. Still a bedtime story though, except for Nica, who called up the shipping company to find out where the package came from. The line's breaking up, but she thinks she hears them say, an evidence depository, which means there is a sender on file with a location that it came from, like a return address. Unless the sender is a Mr. Depository, first name evidence. So Nica tells Jill, and they're both like, who knows, can't be that important anyway. But Nica needs answers, so she Googles it. Turns out, hey, this extremely high-profile case with at least one film adaptation is incredibly common knowledge. Who could have guessed? But if you think that's disturbing, get a load of this. Jill strips down to her skivvies so that she and Barbara can have sexy time over Skype. Yeah, just vid call your little booby show like 10 feet away from a sleeping child. Well, she earned her death, which Chucky happily delivers as he kicks the bucket, resulting in her kicking the bucket, electrocuting her sexy scrumptious ass on the spot.
Women can't live with them, period.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline. But oh, darn it, that little stunt knocked out the power. again. So Barbara says she's gonna check on Alice. But wait! Ian insinuates she really wants to check on Jill. Or check out Jill. Or check out Jill's tonsils, that's right! He's onto her, and it's even worse than she thinks. The man's got it on tape.
The footage from the nanny cam.
What nanny cam?
The one I hid in the doll today.
That's right! The doll went missing because he grabbed it and fitted it with a hidden camera! It wasn't just moving around on its own! As a bit of a change of pace, she begins to berate him, but that's nothing a handy-dandy pair of earplugs can't take care of. So Barbara's off, but distracted by weird, shadowy movement. And then, of course, Nica's incessant yelling. But what's this?
Wait a second, you know about this?
Well, I think that I
know what's in this?
Do you?
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm trying to tell you.
That's that classic bit of incredibly shitty writing where two characters have an argument over a miscommunication that could be easily cleared up if just one of them wasn't a complete flippin' moron. So, of course, it never gets cleared up. Barbara doesn't listen to reason. Not that Nica is even trying to blurt out the very obvious. The fucking thing's possessed by a serial killer that would explain enough to at least get her to stop arguing. And Barbara has to find Alice. Where could she be? Why not the attic? Seems spooky enough. But darn it, Nica must contend with her worst nemesis. Stairs! But her sister needs her. And I guess she's out of earshot, though this house can't be that big. Oh yeah, but where is that missing knife? Why, in the doll, of course. So just give it back to him right there. What's the worst could happen?
Alice?
Fun fact, there's absolutely no logical reason for the rocking horse distraction to have happened just then. Nobody is near it. Alice is not hiding up there. They're indoors, so there's no wind. It just happened because fuck it. After we fought around a little more, Barbara's like, who put that doll there? But more importantly, who put that makeup over the doll's various grotesque stitches all over their face? But Chucky's not one to just take critiques of his physique without dishing out a few of his own.
You have your mother's eyes. And they were always too fucking close together!
He's harsh, but fair. Yeah, Nica doesn't make it in time, but she does get close enough to catch a tumbling pile of dead sister rolling down the stairs. Now it's time for the classic horror trope of the psycho killer slowly walking towards his helpless victim as she hobbles around on the floor like her legs don't work. At least this time it actually checks out. Once she gets the handy-dandy spare wheelchair out of the closet, though, she easily outpaces the slow walk and wakes the guy up like the doll is loose and it's murdering everybody!
No, he's still out there.
Who?
Chucky!
Alice! But this motherfucker doesn't even stop to scoff at the notion. It's just completely ignored. When he finds that Jill is currently putting the dead in dead sexy, it's enough for him to say fuck it and leave to the garage to escape. Later, first he's got a double act to grab Alice, but Nica has a warning.
Ian, if you see Chucky, whatever you do, just leave him alone.
Chuck, what are you talking about?
Just stay away from that doll!
And keep your damn hands off my Pokemon cards. They are first edition base set, and you're gonna drop the value just by breathing around them. But while the guy checks the house as slowly and quietly as possible,
Alice.
Nica is alone in the garage. Or is she? For Chucky hops in the car and revs the engine, filling the garage with carbon monoxide. Have no fear, for Nica can bash the window in to turn off the engine, which is the one thing the guy notices like, dude, what the hell? I still gotta pay the lease on that thing.
Oh my God. Nica, what have you done?
But what's this? Now he suspects that Nica has been the killer all along. Yes, this paraplegic girl with the upper body strength of a juice box. She's been going around killing everyone, and he knows because he just caught her in the act of trying to kill herself. Huh? But oh, would you look at that? It seems that handy-dandy established one fucking time heart condition is kicking in, and Nica needs his help to keep her from losing consciousness. But oh no, he believes so hard that she is the killer, he lets her drift into it, waking up to find herself tied to her wheelchair. Because after all, if he did give her the medicine, then what hope would this very large, full-grown, able-bodied, physically fit man have of overpowering this twig running at half horsepower? He's doing that thing every perfectly sane man worried about their daughter's well-being would do. Evil monologuing! He knows Nica's the killer, and he can prove it with all that handy-dandy footage from the secret camera he placed on the doll. which he obviously neglected to check before his speech. Hey, wait a minute. None of this footage shows Nica is the killer. Matter of fact, every last frame seems very strongly to imply that Chucky is in fact a walking, talking, swearing, murdering killer doll. Oh, but let's not actually react to the live feed. That'd be too smart. You know what? Maybe he was right to believe he would be easily overpowered by a cripple. The hell was that? Now Nica would love to help, but she's a little tied up at the moment, giving Chucky more than enough time to axe him in the fucking face. Okay, now she can break free, and Chucky digs the axe into her leg. But she's like, ha, didn't hurt, and it gets stuck, so she slaps his ass, then knocks his block off. Which is extremely clean considering the whole you turn into a human thing that's been kicking around since the first movie. So no surprises here. As she wraps up her wound, Chucky gets up just fine and throws her ass through the railing to the hardwood floor below. It's so bad she might never walk again. So while we figure that one out, Chucky comes up like, hey, still got 20 minutes of movie left. It's time for the exposition dump to end all exposition dumps. Hey, remember that weird guy in the Hawaiian shirt from your family video? Well, it was me all along. Charles Lee Ray, close friend of the family.
This is Barb.
She has her mother's eyes.
Also, I was confused, so I just had to double check who plays Charles Lee Ray in these scenes, and it's Brad Dourif. Yeah, the OG. Under about 50 pounds of de-aging makeup. But, uh-oh, somebody killed the dad. I mean, he drowned. They deleted the murder scene, so he was definitely drowned. He drowned on his own. Yep. And then what happened to Sarah? Kidnapped, held in a basement where Charles would bring her sunflowers as part of his psychotic love ritual, trying to put himself into that patriarchal role of the once happily family. But Sarah keeps asking him to stay longer. Because it's a trap!
Fuck! You told them about us?
There is no us.
She called the police. While being held captive, tied to a table, gagged most of the time, under constant surveillance. I have no idea how the hell she did it, but she got it done. So that retconning set up Child's Play 1, but before Chucky goes, he is sure to injure Sarah's baby. That's right, he is directly responsible for her disability. And then he came back.
Took me 25 years. But believe me, it was worth the wait.
Which now brings us even more, and even worse questions. How did this family, who just never heard of the whole Chucky thing before, how is that possible when they were directly involved and friends with Charles Lee Ray? They should know this very well. How the hell could they possibly be this stupid?
Since then, a lot of families have come and gone. The Barclays, the Kincaids, the Tillys.
Just to point out that, yeah, this is not a reboot. This is a sequel, and everything that happened in the previous movies is canon. It just makes absolutely no sense.
Your family was always my favorite.
Now why the hell did it take us 6 movies to even bring him up? But looky here, he never did manage to kill Andy, and Nica uses that to get under his skin, pointing out his failures, and how his attempt to kill her over 25 fucking years is pathetic.
25 years must be the slowest murder in history. I mean, what are you waiting for? A sign from God?
Jeez, even God's like, okay, fuck this bitch, Chucky, do your thing. So she dashes for the elevator, resulting in a bit of a back and forth between her and Chucky. But what's this? The police have arrived. And there was a little setup earlier. The officer who responded to Father Frank's accident was part of his parish and wanted to get to the bottom of it. And after a little bit of investigation, they found out that they were last seen at this house. So he doubled back to go check it out. I just didn't feel like messing up the pacing of the review by showing that. But yeah, the police arrive very quickly, and that actually makes the ending even worse. Because guess what? Bad ending! While Nica is alive, thanks to the police showing up before Chucky could do any more harm, they just figure she is the killer. Her, the weak paraplegic woman, must have slaughtered everyone in that house. But she did it because she's obviously knuckin' futs, so she gets to spend the rest of her days institutionalized.
I'm alive, you son of a bitch, you hear me?
I'm still alive!
Despite the video evidence detailing the entire fucking night from Chucky's perspective, completely exonerating her of anything. But even if we're going to say that Chucky somehow destroyed all of that, even though there was no chance for him to do so, the criminal justice system is supposed to work on a preponderance of evidence and presumption of innocence. So, you mean to tell me with fucking nothing, you managed to convince a jury that this weak, crippled woman with no history of violence just decided to murder her entire family one night. She just, out of the blue, just decided to do that, and the only thing you have connecting her to the crime is proximity. What? So the doll is placed in evidence. Or is it? Because a cop is intent on selling it, but to whom? Well, they murder him, so we can guess. Tiffany! Still in Jennifer Tilly's body, as we can see there is no Chucky heart tattoo on her tits. It turns out she's the one mailing him to his victims.
Approximate value?
Well, my mother always used to say, you can't put a price on love.
Under $250 then.
Which means they reconciled, I guess. She must not be that upset about the whole I was going out with Sarah while I was seeing you thing. And we still have time for one more fuck you to finish the day. Seems they somehow know where little Alice has been taken and ship Chucky right to her. They're gonna play hide the soul, and there's not one single thing to suggest that this time it doesn't work. The end. Fucking A. Anyway, that was Curse of Chucky. Fucking A. You'd think a movie that sought to correct things would get them a little better than previous entries, but I'm afraid that's not the case here. There are positives to speak of, so I'll get those out of the way first. The acting is on point for the most part. People give believable performances, and the cinematography, while excessively dark, does do a good job at framing the scenes and trying to work with suspense to build dread where it can. Some are more effective than others, but that's a topic for the negatives. So let's get started on that with, wow, what the fuck kind of absolute imbeciles were these people in this entire family? At base, in this world, a doll that introduces itself as Chucky is suspect, to say the least. The fact that no one picked up on that was already a red flag. But when the big reveal comes later, then we find out that Charles was personally involved with this family? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what that means? It means not only should they all know well who Charles is from the get-go, they were probably the very people who gave him the nickname Chucky. And when the rumors came up that he possessed a doll and continued killing, they would probably pay more attention than most to that kind of shit. Hell, they might even try to get a cut of the movie deal. Point is, the fact that all of them, especially the mother, were just clueless is an impossible pill to swallow. Much like the ending, I get it. Happy endings are cheesy, but why is that? That's because usually the bad guy logically would win, but the laws of physics bend in such a way that we get a happy ending regardless, because people like happy endings. You can't just inverse that and expect it to work. People really don't like bad endings, but if it makes sense, like in Seven, it will leave you feeling satisfied that the movie didn't pull its punches. Here, they just ignore clear and obvious ways the ending shouldn't work for the sake of having a bad ending. It's the worst of both worlds. At the end of the day, Curse of Chucky is an interesting experiment, trying to take the horror comedy back into pure horror and dial back the zaniness, but they dialed it back so much that the story was oh so bare bones for most of the running time that it wasn't until the exposition explosion that it actually started to feel like a Chucky movie again. It's not the worst movie, but it's a pretty bad Chucky movie, coming in at 2 incredibly stupid family members out of 5. I'm not letting the kid off the hook either. There's no way that she could recognize that Grandma's fucking dead, and yet somehow, when it comes to Chucky walking around talking and cussing her out, well, that's just perfectly normal. No questions to be had here. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Shado, and remember, if it takes longer for you to eat the bowl of chili in the movie than the bowl of chili I'm eating while watching the movie, stop it!
Nica, please.